All right. Welcome again, everyone. This is Assistant Cub Master, Mr. Chiprich, with his wonderful assistant, Miss Natalie. And again, we are going to continue talking a little bit about levers. We're going to talk about the three different classes of levers right now. So I'm going to first go ahead and kind of explain what that is and how all that works. So there are three different types of levers that are out there, okay? So what is a lever first off? Do you know what a lever is?
A lever is something that you can use to move an object or objects.
True. That is a basic way to explain that. That's really good. Thank you, Miss Natalie. You know, a lever is usually like a rigid bar or something like that that turns around on a fulcrum, which is a fixed point. We'll explain what that is in a little bit. There's some force that you're going to apply to it, you know, whether it's a push or a pull, and that's going to be your effort. You have to give effort to get something to move, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. The farther the effort is from the fulcrum, the easier it is to use that actual lever. We'll talk about how that works in a little bit. What the lever moves, that's called the load. You know, you got to move a load, you know, or it's the resistance. Levers can change the direction of motion. They can make it easier to move something or cause something to move a greater distance. You know, there's three different classes or types of lever. So we're going to talk about those real quick. So I'm going to go over here. And I'm going to use the marker that seems to have disappeared that I have
two markers over here.
Yes, but I have to use the right kind of marker.
They're called expos.
Can you grab that for me? That's the perfect thing. That's exactly what I need. Both of them. Excellent. So, again, we talked about the actual lever itself. So the first type of lever, which is class 1, the fulcrum, which is going to be that like pivot point, is going to be in the middle this time. So that's our fulcrum. Fulcrum. Okay, then our lever, I'm going to put here, okay? Then our effort would be here. We're going to push, like so with our hand. I have a terrible drawing of a hand here. We're going to push down, and we've got a load, which is like a barbell for 100 pounds each. So this is a class 1 lever, and this is an example of that. Natalie, what does this look like?
It looks something like a seesaw.
Mm-hmm. That's perfect. A seesaw is a class 1 lever. So
I drew a seesaw.
did you? Go ahead and show the folks at home. That's excellent. Go bring it a little bit closer to the picture so that they can all see it. Yes, very good. This is actually part of it, guys. You're going to have to draw some levers too. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I'm all about showing. So in this example, we talked about how we can move something. And again, the further away something is, the easier it is to move. So in this case, we have our fulcrum right here. We have a book. It's a book. Got our board here. And on this side, my wonderful assistant is going to go ahead and stand on that. Go ahead. Okay, perfect. So you can see that she is right there, and there is this side. So now I'm going to take 2 fingers, and she's going to stay balanced. And with these 2 fingers, I can actually lift her up. And I'm not having to put a whole lot of effort to do that because, again, my effort is all the way over here. It's a lot easier for me to go ahead and move that. So perfect. I'm going to put you down. Excellent. Thank you, Miss Natalie. So that is lever number 1. Okay. Okay. That is not a lever. That is me dropping things. Okay. So lever number 2. You know what, Miss Natalie? I need that other expo. Do you know where that went?
No.
No? Oh, there it is.
I have a little eraser for you right here.
Oh, excellent. Thank you for that. That is much better than using my hand. See, she is thinking ahead. So lever number 2. Okay, lever number 2, instead of the fulcrum being in the middle, this time it's going to be at the end. That could look like that. I think I'm going to make the fulcrum look a little bit more like this. Now in this case, the lever is here again, like normal, okay? But the load, this time we'll say like it's a box or something. Load, it's going to be over here in the middle. This time that's where that's going to be. And then my effort, instead of pushing down this time, my effort is going to have to go up. Because that way I can lift it, okay? Now, what does this remind you of, Miss Natalie?
Well, one way that's easier to remember it is to know that it spells the word L.
Oh, you're
E
right.
for effort, L for load, and F for fulcrum.
Very good. Okay. Now, what does this kind of look like? What do you think here? What does that look like? Kind of like that. So, what's something like you would call this if you were going to take something somewhere? You remember?
No.
That's okay. So, I would say it looks like a wheelbarrow to me. So that would be something that you could kind of lift up. You can move a lot of stuff. Normally, when you're like moving dirt or big rocks, put it in the wheelbarrow, you go ahead and lift up on that wheel, and it's a lot easier to go ahead and roll it that way. And so that's the way to use it. Now, we actually have something here that's full of stuff. And so, Miss Natalie, can you please show our folks at home what lever number 2 is before we run out of time? Perfect. Now you gotta lift it up. There we go. So you can see with this kind of lever, she is lifting it up. It's making it really easy to move and drag with ease. Okay, so that is a class 2 number lever. Excellent. Okay. Lever number 3. Don't grab it yet.
I made it. So
I
I'll just
know.
hold on to it
I know.
and continue going.
Okay. Now this time, this is a little bit more interesting. Okay. So we have our lever. Okay, this time our fulcrum point is going to be up here. Okay. Our effort, so fulcrum, effort is going to be down here, and our load or resistance is going to be down here. So FEL this time. So it's a little bit different. Again, this is a class 3 lever. We will get to that, I promise. Okay, so fulcrum up at the top. Okay, effort is going to be there. Okay, and then we can do like a load down here. Now, what is this? What's a class 3 lever? What's something that we have? So fulcrum, where you can hold it up here, and that's where it kind of pivots. Okay, push for load, or push for effort, and then load at the bottom. What does that look like, Miss Sally?
I don't quite know, but it makes me think of like if you have like one rock here and a stick right here, and you're right here, and you pull the stick and you're trying to make this other rock go up.
No, that would be a class 1 lever. This is a class 3. I think we have something here that you really wanted to show people earlier. That is a class 3 lever. Can you go ahead and bring it? Like right here is my load down here, okay? I've got some stuff that I left out on purpose. Okay, perfect. You can put that down there. And how about you go grab our class 3 lever real quick, which is sitting over there where you left it. Ta-da! That is a class 3 lever. So if she holds up at the top and she uses her other hand below to go ahead and push, perfect. she can move the load down below. And so that is actually a class 3 lever. See, you mind if I see this real quick? So again, fulcrum, effort, and the resistance of the load is down there. So this is a class 3 lever. So that's perfect. Now there's lots. What's that?
I have another one.
Miss Natalie would love to show you. Now, what kind of lever is the one that you're going to show?
Either this one or this one.
Well, let's think about it. Let's put it together first. So your lever itself is the stick. So where are you going to put your fulcrum? Let's come down here real quick. Here, I'll put it in my hands so that people can see it at home. So you're going to put your fulcrum there. Okay, your lever there. So your fulcrum's in the middle and your load is to the left and your effort's there. So if the fulcrum's in the middle, which one is it? Which class lever is this look like? What does it remind you of? Does it remind you of the first lever we did, the second lever we did, or the third lever? Don't worry. You were saying it. The third? The first. Yes, the first is correct. And so again, because here, and we'll bring this a little bit closer for our audience at home to see. Okay, we have our fulcrum in the middle. Our lever's right up at the top. We got our load at the bottom, and the effort to move it is now right there. And it is pushing downwards. So that is a class 1 lever. Excellent job. So perfect. High five. High five. There you go. Oh, knuckles. I got you. All right, cool.
High five produces more germs.
Yeah. Good point. And right now we don't want to do any of that. So that's good to know.
The one that releases the most germs is a handshake. And then it goes to high five. And then the cleanest one is a fist bump.
That's true. And that would be good, especially for you folks who are learning about germs away, as far as one of the rank assignments. I believe that's an elective. And there's a couple other ones. You know, one thing in particular when it comes to germs that I think is really fantastic is that you're supposed to wash your hands for 20 seconds. So a good way to do that as scouts, to do that, would be to do the scout oath while you're washing your hands. Let's pretend we're washing our hands real quick while saying the scout oath. Ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. You know what? Just for good measure, let's add on the scout law on there. A scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Very good. Excellent.
And there's an experiment you could try at home. If you get some water in a bowl, pour some water in it.
That's for a different video. We'll save that for next time. So either way, that's what we got as far as that, folks. Now there are lots of levers around us, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in the future. Where do you think you can find levers? Do you think you could find them at school? Do you think you could find them at a construction yard? Yeah. Where else do you think you could find some?
I saw one in the show.
Oh. What show?
Well, they had to move a boulder, so they used the first class lever to move it.
That's a wonderful idea. That's absolutely correct. I remember that show. They had to, in order to move the rather large boulder out of the way to get it out of the way of the cave. That is a perfect use of a lever. Excellent.
They had to make their own because they had to do it like immediately, so they couldn't just go back to their little home and find a way, some good materials, they had to make it immediately.
And they did a good job, and that's a perfect use of a lever. So excellent. I want you guys to think of different places where you can find levers, and we'll talk a little bit more about that soon. All right? Thanks, everybody. Miss Natalie, nice job. Very good. All right, and we'll see you later. Say goodbye.